have a right not to like you. Okay? So, and yeah,
wait, this is my friend. At some point in time, it's so good to see you guys again. I swear. I swear, I've been thinking about that what we discussed last week, and it's made me appreciate this our friendship more because it's not something that comes that easy, especially once we pass 25. Yes. So again, thank you. I appreciate you too, and to our viewers, I appreciate you too.
I'm not appreciating you guys.
Welcome to 21 minutes, where we take 21 minutes of your life and you never get it back. Last week we talked about adult friendships and what changed once we passed 25. And one of the things that we established was that in adult friendship, one thing that's really needed is proximity for the friendship to flourish. We also talked about social media and the good and the bad impact it's had on adult friendships. If you haven't seen that episode, I'll put it up here. I suggest you go watch it. I'm sure you have something to add. But I wanted to pick up where we left off last week. There was one question that we left unanswered because Ufu wanted to talk anyhow. We're talking about we're talking about intentions. One thing that was established last week was that for adult friendships to work, you have to be intentional about it. You have to put in effort. But the question that wasn't answered is how much level of effort is enough? Should you be the one hosting or should you be the one being hosted? OJ.
Okay, so I think there has to be a nuance to it anyway.
Yeah.
Um, I think if you are in a better position to host, I think you should host. I think one of the things that make friendship a little bit difficult is when one party begins to think it is one-sided. If you could just do yourself the favor and ignore the one-sidedness of it, if you
Yeah.
really think that friendship is worth it, then you should always host if you have the ability to host.
I
I think
want
it's a no-brainer.
I want to make it. I don't like the fact that we advise people. I want to know what you're doing.
What I'm doing, I don't have
Yes.
friends, man.
Not true.
Okay, okay.
Both of
So,
them
I
are
don't know.
both of them are making new friends since the last 5 years.
So okay,
I
so
don't
I
know if
do.
you listen
Oh
to them.
no, currently I do have friends. I do have friends that I've made in the past. Friends who made from uni, and maybe I think after my NYSC, I don't know, but friends who had them in uni. So what
Yeah.
I do is that we do have a culture here of not hosting in the
Mm.
house. So we go out, okay? We go
Yeah.
out. We eat a lot of fish in Nigeria right now. A lot of
That's
fish.
yeah. Go ahead. That's a
Yeah,
big thing
so
today.
so we go out. I do go out, not very often, but I do go out a lot. And depending on how the dynamics is, I don't usually have to be the one to host all the time. There is this split bill kind of stuff that we do where say you go out and you end up spending 50K, and there are three
Yeah.
or four of you, and then one person, usually the person who had the idea or the person who was very enthusiastic about coming even though you didn't have the idea, maybe you pay the first 30K, the other person throws in 10K, the other person throws in 5K. It doesn't really matter, there's no rule to it. So you're not exactly hosting, but then you do have to make sure that you are not being the wise ass, okay? So
Yeah. We
um,
chop
you
free food.
you, you guys do your best to make
Yeah.
sure that the other people are not feeling used, and
Yeah.
then life goes on. It doesn't have to be 50-50. You
I
don't have
totally,
to.
I totally, I totally get it. I totally get it. Ufo, sure, you mentioned one thing that we'll come back to, going out. That's actually the main gist of our topic today. Going out. We'll come back to that later. But what I'm hearing before you jump in is that in Nigeria, I know from my experience here in Canada, hosting is a big thing because going out is not that old. It's not like going out is not the default. But for Nigeria, going out is the default.
Light is not
Um,
there for us.
what do you mean? How's your experience, Ufo,
Is it in the UK or when I was in Nigeria?
in the UK? Like,
Going out?
do you host or are you the one being hosted? And like, where do you like draw the line between the two?
To be fair, I think people that do the hosting here is more like if you're married, you have a wife or you have a child, I
Yeah.
mean, you can. So what we
I beg
do
to differ,
here,
Sha, because before I marry, I lived in a house back in Kamloops, and we host steady. We dey host all the banger parties now in our
Before
house.
you marry, you do like married man now.
maybe you guys call it host, but I mean, we just call it like a night out, or maybe you go to your like three friends will come to my house. Well, I call it a host. We just drink, play video game, play board game, or we go
That is
out.
still hosting. Like whoever
Oh, really?
that's the hosting. I'll consider that hosting because you're in someone's house, right? Right,
Okay.
and
Yeah, that's
you
that's
people
That's
collectively either one person or the entire group buys drink, there's food, there's games, bro. That's a
That
party
means
right there.
I've been hosting all my friends then because my house is the place they like to gather, and they always buy drinks though. They always buy drinks. Sometimes they
Yeah.
come with their friends and we chill, we play music, we have a good time. But I have to say something about hosting. I feel like the older I get, the the more my friends just don't feel like doing that anymore. So when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, it
Mm.
used to be like every weekend thing. Homeboys will come around, or sometimes I go to theirs, depending on who have a bigger flat or house.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel like they don't even do that anymore. Like maybe one person will just come around, stay with you. We are more like homebodies, you know. The last
Mm.
time we went out to the club was, I think, 1 year and some months ago. I
Yeah.
went out with my homeboys. So it's a little bit different now. They come, we still watch movies, we still play video games, we still drink, we still play board
I
games.
don't watch movies with people. It's a waste of
Because you go rewind back. You say
time.
rewind back. You rewind.
Yes, you
I
should you
know
understand.
You rewind back.
people
You have to
different
get
from
what
Okay,
you
I was
need.
saying that again.
yeah.
Yeah, but you make a valid point. But one thing I still want us to touch on is about the intentionality of adult friendship. I'm saying this thing because there's one story that's coming to mind. I think it was mid last year. I had this moment where I felt isolated. I felt like I should be doing more. You know how they say it takes a village to raise a kid, as a common
Yes.
Yeah.
feeling, but and then last year a common trend I was seeing on social media was that, but a follow up statement to that. When people say it takes a village to make a to raise a kid, the follow up statement is that it takes you to make a village. It takes people to be willing to be villagers to want to create that village. So I had these moments where I was doubting myself that I was not putting enough effort in my friendships and all of that stuff. So I made this intentional decision then that I was going to be I was going to put in effort in my friendships. And I did. I did for a few months. But
How did it work out?
it worked out great. For some of my friendships it blossomed. But for one particularly, there was the one that's coming to mind right now. Is a very good friend of mine, and I still consider him a friend till now. After a while, after like 2 or 3 months of me putting and giving, I decided to pause and ask myself if I decided to pause
If it
and
was
see if like my effort was going to be
if it was
reciprocated.
worth it.
Not if it was worth it. In the end,
Oh, if
the person is a
it
friend, right?
reciprocated.
Yes, because I
Okay.
realized that if I spoke on the phone 10 times with this person,
You made all the
I was
calls.
calling 9 times. You
I
get
actually get that.
and
I actually really get
I decided to pause, and I noticed that me and this person started to grow apart. You get, and after a while, in short, in therapy, like I said last week, I was talking to my therapist about this. I was talking to my therapist about it, and my therapist was like, "It seemed like you're really grieving his loss." That was the first time that I was like, "You know what? I'm actually grieving his loss because this guy was a friend, but now we've almost become like there's no beef or anything, right? But we've always
yeah.
become
You guys are not cool.
strangers. Yeah, we don't have that. We cannot sit down and have personal conversation anymore. And so many things happened. We both had kids. Life changed. Is it safe to attribute all of these things, all of these changes, to life changes, or are we to blame for not being intentional about the communities? OJ, what do you think?
I have a take.
Okay,
Okay,
let's hear it.
so I have first of all, so you get where I am coming from. I do believe that people have the right, like people have a right not to like you. Okay, so and
Okay,
yeah,
wait, this is my friend. At some point in time, we were friends. So it's not as if I'm toasting this person and the person is not agreeing. You get,
he
let me
still
clarify
has
that. We'll
he still has
continue.
a right to withdraw that likeness that he likes you. Oh, you see, and people don't have to like you. At least this is what I believe. People don't have to like you, and you don't have to like me all the time. Yeah, you will hurt if maybe we stop being friends. Okay, like the three of us.
Yeah,
But it is within your right to say, okay, OJ, Uche, you guys are not moving in the direction I want to move in my life. So I want to cut you guys off. It is totally within your rights. Okay.
facts.
This is my belief. Okay.
Okay,
So
I have a
if
question. We'll
you
continue.
guys if you guys used to be friends and um somehow you are putting in all the effort, if you really want that friendship to continue, I think you should take ownership or continue to put in the effort.
Hmm.
You, it you don't have to. He probably doesn't want all this wahala that you want to carry and put on his head. So I think it is within his right to not put in the effort while you are putting in that effort. So if you really need the friendship, you continue. If you don't, you guys
That's a very interesting take because every one of us have been taught to believe that friendship should be like a two-way street. It's a give and take. But
nah.
for what do you think? Do you agree with OJ or do you have your different take altogether?
It depends on the circumstances. To be honest with
It
Yeah.
you,
does not
No,
depend on any circumstance.
let's use me now as a case study.
It
the
does
case
not depend
study.
on
Hmm.
any
So
circumstance.
if I'm not at the case study, I have to ask you some questions. I will ask you questions like,
You don't start
um,
therapy now.
the
I'm okay. It's okay. I love
I
therapy.
told I
But go
told
ahead.
Friday I can't do therapy. I told him, but anyways, the truth is this: it depends on the circumstance. For example,
Okay.
I feel that genuine friendship is all about quality, not quantity. It's not all
Fact.
about you guys talking every day. It's not all about you guys trying to do things every single day.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you guys are living close, I think yes, you guys should try to meet once in a while when it's possible. But
The
over
guy
there,
doesn't want
You're not answering the question. And let me clarify something, OJ. He's not, he did not say he does not want. The guy is not ignoring my call.
his
what
What I
actions are telling you that he
He
doesn't
does
want.
not want. Okay. So Ufo, let's bring it to what we're discussing because I'm looking at the time. Um, the question is, should relationship, friendship? OJ said that that I should not stop putting in efforts. That since I'm putting in efforts, I notice that if my efforts are not being reciprocated, I should continue since it's made I want friendship.
Full stop.
Yeah, so I was heading towards that part. I feel
Okay.
like um you never can tell the circumstances. You never can tell the
All right.
situation. I
Have you?
feel that quality is over quantity. If my homeboy calls me
Mm-hmm.
or I call my homeboy a lot more and he doesn't call me back, I don't calculate all of those things. I only calculate if he doesn't pick my call. Like if I call him, he doesn't pick my call, doesn't return it.
Yeah.
Then I would feel like yes, this guy doesn't really want to engage with me. But
So
if
so so some of you are telling me now with your full chest that there's never been a time in your life that you ask yourself the question of, oh, let me do this call this guy you. Let me wait and see if he'll call me.
the only time I felt that way is one guy that I know that, like you said, he only calls me for informations, which I don't mind. He calls me for financial assistance, which I don't mind. But there's a clause there. The only time I felt that way was if I try to reach out to him, he doesn't really try to engage. Oh,
Yeah.
guy, I'll speak to you later. He doesn't call back.
Yeah, he doesn't
Wow.
want to talk to you. And yes, I do agree that see, I
So I'm alone
it's
in this
not
like this, but continue. I'm learning so much. Continue.
it's not that I have not had a situation where I was the chaser. Forgive that language, okay? But you see, what is worth getting is worth getting. And if you do feel that, I've had situations where I felt, yeah, let me just continue. Like, I feel good when I'm with this guy, or this girl, or whatever. And it does add to my life, okay?
Okay.
So it improves the quality of my life. So I continue to put in that effort. The moment it stops giving me quality, or once the energy is no longer what the quality I get out of it, then I drop back. Sometimes, oftentimes, those people see that void and notice that you started drawing back, and then they kind of match the energy and try to get it back to where it is. But expectations are killers of happiness.
Yeah,
Expecting them to reciprocate equally just the way you do is not a very realistic thing, in
yeah,
my world.
yeah. You do make a valid point, and let me just say a few things to clear the air. I feel like people talk about expectations and say people should not go through life with expectations, and I strongly disagree with that. Because expectations is what keeps us alive. It's what makes us human. And yes, you will get your heart broke. So please expect things from life. If not, what's the point of being alive what's the point of leaving your bed in the morning?
I believe in self-responsibility. You are responsible for every single thing that happens to you.
Let's agree to
Every
disagree on that one. Still, my stance is have expectations to live a happy life. What's the
you can
what
never be.
what's the it cannot be you. You know what? The question has been coming up for me since we started talking about
You
this.
see, I'm
Two
actually
of
bad. I
you,
told you I
two
don't
of you
live a
should
good
answer this question. Have you ever been heartbroken before by a friend?
a friend.
Yes. Not a
Hmm,
girlfriend, though. A friend. Before you two,
yes,
as a friend broken your heart before. What happened?
yes.
I beg. I want to hear. Because the blind say you don't get heart, OJ. Well, go ahead.
So so I've had
Keep it short,
situations.
Sha. We don't have enough time.
I've had situations where I did expect more from a friend, and I didn't get that expectation, especially, let's say, I felt, keyword now, I felt
Hmm.
that he didn't really understand my situation. So he he kind of took it out of context. Okay,
Yeah.
so he did. I got heartbroken. It's not like we stopped being friends, but there was this attitude I got from him, which I would have in my old life. I'm a changed and new person right now. In my old life, I would have just probably walked away from that relationship or that friendship. But I tried to put myself in his shoes, and really being fault. So yes, I have been heartbroken. Yeah, and
Mm.
it's painful. It a pain.
Yeah. Ufo, what about you?
Paddy, this part has to be cut off. My storage just got full. I messaged on WhatsApp. So
Oh,
continue.
that
Continue.
that's okay. That's okay. You know what? We'll add your voice, but no video. So say your story. We'll see
Oh,
have you on voice. Yeah.
okay. What was the question, please? Come again.
Have you ever been heartbroken before by a friend?
A male friend or a female friend?
A male, a male
Friend,
friend, like not
my
girlfriend.
female friend,
Was I
platonic
know
friendship.
I know you were dealing with your phone. I was talking about my experience with my friend and how we grew distant because of God knows what. And before
Yeah.
and OJ was telling me that it can never be me. So and I was talking about how that I felt hurt by that whole loss. I'm still grieving the loss, by the way. Therapy guys. Um so have you been hurt by a friend before?
Um, Not really. I'm not gonna lie
No.
to you. No,
Yeah.
not really. I don't attach emotions to, not really. I've not been hurt by a
And
friend.
I'm the
I've been
one who doesn't have
disappointed.
Yeah.
a heart.
I've been disappointed by a friend. I've been disappointed by a friend, but I've not been emotionally hurt by a friend.
My
No,
friend.
a male
And I'm the
friend.
one who does not have a heart.
Okay. It's crazy because time is up now, and we never got to going out.
Yeah, that's why I'm having a third episode.
We will discuss that in the next episode, guys. This is a three-part series where we talk about friendship as an adult, as a 25 plus individual, and how to navigate all of that situation. And that's a wrap. This is 21 minutes. If you enjoy our show, like, share, subscribe, and if you don't enjoy it, again, share with your
Tell your
friends.
friend.
Let them
Tell
feel
your,
pain for at
your,
least for a
your friend
change.
will enjoy it.
You're welcome.